higher television ratings, higher attendance figures. Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't come courtesy of a league. It comes courtesy of the players that play in the league. And in her case, she was the most popular, which means she could have helped your bottom line, which means you should have seen that from day one and maximized it. But you didn't do it.
Stephen A. Smith is known for speaking his mind, but this time he didn't just make noise. He shook everything up. His passionate criticism of how the WNBA is handling Caitlin Clark went beyond his usual bold takes. It was a direct challenge. What really fired him up was the league's total miss in maximizing the impact of its biggest and most marketable star. If you support Caitlin, drop a CC is the GOAT in the comments below. Let's go.
You were a bit hesitant and reluctant and resistant to it. So much so you didn't push for her to be on Team USA. So much so, you had people like Cheryl Swoops who didn't even want to mention her name.
Imagine a player so captivating and game-changing that she's packing arenas and breaking TV records before even reaching her peak. Caitlin Clark isn't just talented. She's the breakout star women's basketball has needed. But instead of giving her a grand welcome, the WNBA has greeted her with a half-hearted meh. Fans are confused. How can a league that wants to grow treat its biggest draw like she barely matters?
And are you willing to admit how stupid it was for y'all not to go all in speaking your piece to elevate Caitlin Clark? So therefore even more attention could have come and y'all could have reaped the benefits? Now you're going to do it anyway, and I get that, but you see my point?
But Stephen A. wasn't just pointing out a blown marketing chance. He was sounding the alarm. The WNBA is at a critical turning point, and if they mishandle Caitlin Clark's rise, it's not just a missed headline. It's a lost shot at the league's biggest growth moment ever. If they keep offering weak support, the question won't be what they could have done. It'll be what they just let slip away.
And everybody talk about other WNBA players not being appreciated. Nobody insulted them. Nobody dismissed their contribution. We were simply saying, despite the contributions for years and years and years, a lot of people didn't care. Fair or not, until Caitlin Clark came along.
When Stephen A. joins the conversation, it's never just filler, it's a moment. His latest outburst didn't just criticize a few choices. It went straight after the WNBA's leadership, especially Commissioner Cathy Engelbert and longtime figures like Cheryl Swoops, who came off less like trailblazers and more like bitter gatekeepers.
But if you went the opposite direction, it could have helped that much and facilitated you being in an even stronger position to get yours. But you didn't do it. You didn't do it. Wow.
Look at how the league responded, or didn't, to Clark's wave of major honors. Forbes 30 Under 30, SBJ Sports Person of the Year, AP Female Athlete of the Year, Time Athlete of the Year. The accolades just kept coming. She's a generational talent, putting women's basketball in national headlines. Yet the WNBA leadership stayed silent. No major campaigns, no big promotions, no rallying behind their moment. Cathy Engelbert seemed content playing a background role in Caitlin's rise. And don't even start on how they handled her Rookie of the Year win. Past rookies got celebrations, team events, primetime shine. Clark? She got a phone call. That's how they treated the sport's biggest star in years, as if it were just another errand. Fans didn't need Stephen A. to call it out. They were already outraged and making noise.
They were going to let her know she was Rookie of the Year with a phone call in Connecticut during a practice before a playoff game. You can't make this up.
The real question is, why is this even happening? Why is a league that claims to want more attention acting like it's uncomfortable with the best thing that's ever happened to it? Why the odd passive-aggressive vibe toward the player bringing women's basketball to millions of new fans? It's like they're afraid of success unless it fits their preferred narrative. Stephen A's takedown wasn't just another hot take. It was the truth fans and insiders have been saying quietly for months. And he didn't just focus on Caitlin Clark. He called out the whole system. This isn't about one missed PR moment. It's about a league stuck on how to handle a star who won't follow their outdated playbook.
elevated television ratings, it elevated attendance, and it damn sure elevated franchise value. But now, something that y'all resisted talking about, opining about, acknowledging.
While most sports leagues thrive by building around their biggest stars, think LeBron James or Steph Curry, the WNBA somehow landed a unicorn in Caitlin Clark and basically said, she'll figure out. She's breaking attendance records and drawing TV numbers that most women's sports can only dream of. Yet the league treats her like a problem to manage instead of the once-in-a-generation opportunity she clearly is.
Eighth in the league in regards to Clark, starting with WNBA legend Cheryl Swoops herself.
That's exactly why Stephen A's criticism hit so hard. The stakes are huge. This isn't just about Caitlin. It's about the future of the entire WNBA. Fans are desperate for real leadership. Someone at the top who actually understands the moment and isn't afraid to elevate the superstar right in front of them. If the league keeps mishandling this, it won't just stall progress, it'll send it backwards. Smith didn't speak out because he dislikes the league. He did it because he wants it to win. But winning takes more than a few weak Instagram posts and vague catchphrases. The WNBA needs direction, courage, and a real plan.
I said Caitlin Clark, rising tide lifts all boats. As much as her presence was maximized by the WNBA, you players could have done more to assist.
Speaking of weak leadership, let's talk about Cathy Engelbert's recent media appearances. When the commissioner finally got a spotlight on big platforms like 60 Minutes and CNBC's Power Lunch, fans and players hoped for clarity, direction, maybe even a little fire. Instead, Engelbert delivered a flat, corporate response that felt more like a shrug than a statement. No urgency, no energy, just empty buzzwords that made people wonder if she even watches the games. On 60 Minutes, she was handed an easy question. What do you think of Caitlin Clark's impact? This was her chance to show real support for the league's biggest star in years. Instead, she gave a stunningly underwhelming answer. No league is about one player.
When you're asking about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries. And you can't do that alone as one person.
Translation: we're afraid of betting too much on Caitlin Clark, which is ridiculous because the WNBA's whole marketing strategy right now should be Caitlin Clark and friends. Imagine if the NBA had responded to Michael Jordan's rise with, "We're bigger than Michael. Good luck out there." By acting like Caitlin isn't the clear focal point, Engelbert and her team aren't just killing momentum. They're insulting fans who know exactly why they're buying tickets, tuning in, and finally talking about the WNBA.
Ball. You know basketball? You know basketball. You know basketball better than me. You know basketball than any of the pundits. You know basketball better than most of the men that play basketball. There is no way in hell you just accidentally left Caitlin Clark's name out of that soliloquy that you dropped about the Indiana Fever. Stop it. You know that. Stop it.
While technically accurate, Cathy Engelbert's "no league is about one player" comment fell flat. It didn't just sound neutral, it felt dismissive. It came across like she was downplaying the very star driving record viewership, ticket sales, and media buzz. Instead of highlighting the wave Caitlin Clark is creating, Engelbert seemed to minimize it, and fans noticed immediately. Social media exploded with backlash, calling out the WNBA for botching one of its rarest chances in decades. The disconnect grew even more during her CNBC Power Lunch appearance, where instead of tackling real issues like player safety, poor officiating, and fair treatment, she leaned on generic buzzwords like rivalries, excitement, and storytelling. It felt like a CEO dodging blame after a rough quarter. Fans, players, and analysts were asking for leadership and honesty. Instead, they got corporate spin. In that moment, the gap between the league's leadership and what's actually happening couldn't have been more obvious.
One black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one.
This isn't just a PR misstep. It's a ticking time bomb with real stakes. While Engelbert talks up rivalries and ratings, players are out there risking injury in games plagued by inconsistent officiating. Caitlin Clark, who's brought more eyes to the WNBA than anyone in recent memory, isn't asking for special treatment, just a fair shot to play without getting roughed up every night. But league leadership seems more focused on pushing feel-good narratives than actually protecting its stars. If they don't address these core issues fast, the WNBA risks driving away the very audience Clark helped bring in.
Balance, but certainly from a marketing dollars, but corporate partners are stepping up to endorse these players much more so than they were 5 years ago.
Officiating has become a glaring problem, with calls swinging from overly aggressive to completely non-existent, leaving players frustrated and fans outraged. This isn't just about bad whistles, it's about safety. Caitlin Clark plays fast and fearless, constantly attacking the basket. But with refs this inconsistent, she's being turned into a moving target. One moment summed it up perfectly. Clark tapped the ring post and got hit with one of the most ridiculous technical fouls in WNBA history. The clip went viral, and fans dragged the league online for weeks, and rightfully so.
Clark gets hit with a technical. After
I got a technical for basically being mad at myself because I missed the three and then I went and hit the backboard, and he told me it was disrespectful to the game of basketball.
The inconsistency says more than all of Engelbert's buzzwords combined. The message is clear. There's a double standard, and Caitlin Clark's on the wrong side of it. This isn't about one bad call. It's a pattern. Game after game, Clark takes cheap shots, reckless hits, and hard fouls while the ref stays silent. And instead of addressing it, the WNBA keeps pushing feel-good narratives about rivalries like that's what fans are here for. Newsflash, fans aren't tuning in for chaos and poor officiating. They're here to watch elite basketball played right. And they're getting fed up with a league that can't seem to make that happen.
The one thing as a very long-term sports fan I know is that officiating and refereeing is always at the top of a fan's list, of the media's list. Obviously, not every, they're humans.
The question everyone's asking, would Diana Taurasi have gotten the same technical for doing exactly what Caitlin did? Not a chance.
Don't tell me Caitlin Clark gets a special whistle ever again. One call was an ejection and the other was a common foul. Now, let's replay this one more damn time. So y'all can see right here. This was the exact same damn play. Look, same play. Same play, bro. Look at this. Are you serious right here? Same play.
Rushed by Williams at half court.
Now, Grant Williams was ejected.
The dangerous fouls Caitlin Clark endured during her rookie season weren't just random. They were predictable and preventable. Fans watched in shock as she took hard hits game after game, with little to no protection from officials. Critics and analysts kept sounding the alarm on player safety, but league leadership stayed silent, more focused on crafting their next hashtag than actually enforcing the rules. Compare that to the NBA. When a star takes a hard foul, the league responds. They review the play, hand out fines, and adjust officiating to protect their top talent. In the WNBA, a blatant elbow to Clark's face barely gets noticed by the league office. The difference is staggering, and it shows just how unprepared the WNBA is for the spotlight and intensity that comes with Clark's rising stardom.
Nobody wants to believe that this league could actually be that dense. Professional league, guys. We're not talking about a rec league. We're not talking about even a high school team. Nobody believes that anybody is that clueless.
Beyond the officiating issues, the WNBA's failure to fully capitalize on Caitlin Clark's historic rise is nothing short of baffling. As she shattered records and filled arenas, fans expected the league to move fast and ride the wave. Instead, they got slow merch restocks, minimal promotions, and a strange hesitation to put Clark's face front and center. Her rookie season wasn't just a strong debut. It was a cultural moment. She pulled women's basketball into the mainstream with pure talent and charisma, but while the spotlight blazed, the league dragged its feet. Jerseys sold out in hours, Games hit standing room only, and viewership soared. Yet the WNBA's response felt like a shrug, wasting a rare surge of momentum that most leagues only dream about.
Such an incredible moment on a global scale for our game, for our players.
It's like the fans are absolutely incredible. It's the same when we go on the road. Like there's so many people that are showing up in fever gear. It's really affecting, teams all across our league, which is a really great thing. And, really, I think we're just scratching the surface.
This isn't just about missed marketing dollars. It's about missed legacy. Caitlin Clark didn't just boost her own profile. She elevated the entire sport. She brought in new fans from college basketball, NBA circles, and casual viewers who'd never paid attention to the WNBA before. She built a bridge between sports worlds that had never really connected, and the league seemed either unprepared or unwilling to cross it. Instead of fully leaning into Clark's once-in-a-generation impact, the WNBA tried to spread the spotlight evenly. That might sound fair, but in practice, it's a mistake. Sports thrive on stars, and pretending every player is equal isn't progress. It's holding the league back. Clark isn't just another rookie. She is the moment. And the longer the WNBA hesitates to fully embrace that, the more momentum they risk losing. What the WNBA needs right now isn't more hashtags, vague promises, or a participation trophy mindset. It needs vision. It needs leadership that understands sports thrive on stars, storylines, and bold moments that take the spotlight, not watered-down, corporate-safe messaging. Caitlin Clark handed the league a golden opportunity to reach heights it's never seen. Whether the WNBA is ready to step up and use that key is still uncertain. Right now, they're at a crossroads. One path leads to real growth, sold-out arenas, booming merch sales, and lasting cultural relevance. The other leads to a missed chance and the regret of what could have been. Fans see it, analysts see it, and thanks to Stephen A. Smith calling it out, there's no hiding from it anymore. So what's it going to be, Kathy? Time's running out. If you stand with Caitlin, drop a CC is the GOAT in the comments, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We'll see you in the next one.